Welcome to the Linehaul Playbook. I'm your host, Emily Blair. Joining me in my virtual studio today is Kelsea Eckert with Eckert and Associates. Kelsea, thank you so much for coming to talk with me.
You're very welcome, Emily. It's fantastic to be here today.
We met down at the Linehaul Summit in Dallas a few weeks ago, and I was
Yes.
really intrigued by what you have to offer because you handle downtime claims. And that wasn't something I was familiar with. Can you tell us first, what does downtime claims mean?
Okay. Well, it is what it sounds like. When a truck is down, there's a claim. So if someone hits one of your viewers' trucks, they should go after the other side, not only for the repairs, but their downtime, their lost income, their lost profit from that truck. Every day that truck is down, it could be losing thousands of dollars. And all those expenses continue to accrue. So a company can get upside down very easily without their income. So that's what we do.
That's awesome. And so it's not a part of a policy that you might already have. This is something where someone can contact you after the accident and initiate an investigation. Is that correct?
Yes. Some people, I say, we're almost like Aflac. We cover those things that aren't covered by an insurance policy. So I'll give you an example. Some car insured by State Farm comes along and hits your truck. So State Farm, or the car was at fault, and you file a claim with State Farm. State Farm goes ahead and pays for all those repairs. And then you say, well, what about all that time down? And they might say, well, we don't pay for that. And I say, the hell they don't. So they need to pay all of the losses from that accident. And that can include not only the lost profits or the loss of use of that equipment, but also things like diminished value. Let's say it was a 2025 truck that got hit and it was worth X before, now it's X minus something at this point. So if you were to try to go sell that truck now, you would get less for it because it had been in an accident. So we want to get that difference back as well. And then any other out-of-pockets that are not covered by insurance, like maybe a hotel or towing or transfer of cargo, anything that is closely related to that accident.
That's so interesting. I just had never considered that you would be able to get reimbursed for some of those things. Now, with FedEx, which is most of my audience, it's a unique situation because oftentimes FedEx corporate is handling that insurance claim. Does that make a difference?
No, does not make a difference typically. I can't say 1,000% all of the time, but my understanding is FedEx typically handles the liability side. And so what we are talking about is the client's physical damage, their own coverage on their own truck. And so on FedEx's side, they're going to make sure that they are not being sued, that the driver's not being sued, all that liability side. But on the other side, on the physical damage side, on the going after the State Farm driver, absolutely, you have right to that every single time.
Okay, that's great to know. And another thing that's a little bit unique to FedEx is that they determine if an accident was preventable or not preventable. And oftentimes they will deem that it was preventable, even if a police report might say that it was not preventable by the truck driver. Does that make a difference in how you would look at something?
For me, no. Personally, no. No, I would still say the police report says that the client was not at fault, and so we would continue. And again, if it was State Farm, we would go after that State Farm driver, and after State Farm saying, "Hey, look at the police report. It says your car was at fault for this, so pay up."
Okay, That's awesome to know. Now, if someone is listening to this and 3 months ago they got into an accident, didn't realize that they had the opportunity to file a downtimes claim, and are now wishing they had, is it too late, or what time frame do you look at past an accident?
Every state has their own special statute of limitations. Some can be as little as a year, some are 6, 8, 10 years. And so it just really depends on where the accident happened. If it was with a city, county, state, federal vehicle, those often have special notice provisions, and so you have to file some kind of special notice. For example, today I was dealing with the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. A police car had hit our client's truck, and that was back in July of last year. And they came to us immediately, which was great because we filed a notice with New Jersey the following month. So we were well within that 3-month period of time. So, but for someone that doesn't necessarily know that there might be those notice provisions, it's really important to get to a lawyer or another professional right away, so at least they know their rights and the rules to follow.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I would have to imagine the longer you wait, the more challenging it is to have appropriate documentation. Can you talk a little bit about what sort of documents you request when you're investigating a case like this?
Yes, absolutely. There are several important documents, and as a whole, every case you look at, like, every case has 2 parts. The first part is proving liability, proving that the other side is at fault, or getting them to admit fault. The second step is proving damages, proving how much is out. So you could have $1 million in damages, but if you can't prove that the other side's at fault, you get 0. So how do you prove liability? How do you get the other side to accept fault? One thing is to make sure that your dash cams are working, front, back, side, everything, because boy, I love it when a client has a dash cam. That changes a liability decision like that so often. So definitely, and again, right after an accident, it's really hard to remember to secure that footage. There's a lot going on at that moment, but it's so vital, so very, very vital on the liability side. What else? Making sure that there's a police report. Let's say it's at a truck stop and some other guy hits you and it looks like small amount of damage, and he says, "Hey, here's $1,000 to let's just call it." And then you take that, and he goes on his way. There's no police report done. There's no other kind of report. There's good luck on getting anything more once you find the internal damage from that accident later. So all kinds of photos and videos are really important at the scene. Sometimes clients will just take up close pictures of the damage. See this dent? Well, but we got to see the bigger picture to see how the trucks hit each other or how the car hit. And so that's, just remembering all these things. We actually have a nice little document that people can put in their glove box with the steps to follow after an accident. So if anyone wants one of those, just give us a call at 1-800-Downtime. We're happy to get that out. We put it in all the trucks of the callers. And so it's at least something for the driver to know what to do right after an accident.
Absolutely. That's a great resource. And I'll make sure to put all of Kelsey's contact information in the description of the video as well. So check there if you want to check her website or reach her for questions. And Kelsey, can we talk about payment? Is there a large amount due up front for a service like this? Do you offer any free consultations?
Many of our clients, when they come to us, are very financially suffering. So the last thing they can do at that point is provide a large retainer. What we do is we always provide a free consultation, and we work on a contingency fee basis. So what does that mean? That means a percentage. So we take a percentage and give the lion's share to the client after the accident. So we do not get paid unless we collect. So we're hungry to get that resolution for the client.
That's fantastic. I think that's an amazing service. There's no reason not to call you after an accident when you're not at fault.
Don't leave that money on the table. It's,
That's great advice. Thank you again so much, Kelsey. Have a great day.